Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to a brand new campaign. And you might be thinking immediately, wait a minute, I didn't know you could play as Denmark. Well, probably right around when this episode comes out, to the public anyway, I will hopefully have gotten DIP extended into a release state, and you will be able to play not only as Denmark, but also Norway, Sweden, Korea, the usuals, Portugal, the Netherlands, the Ottomans, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Greece, or Belgium. Yes, that's right. This is the long-awaited return of the other solution. So, in the Dreadnought Improvement Project, we have Classic, which is what the previous campaign was on. That is all the good stuff around improved stuff in the builder, improved balance in battles, in the campaign, etc., just with the base nations. However, then you run into the problem of miners, which are really, really stupid. And there is already a solution to that, which is just to get rid of all of them and to balance things out in a historical manner. But, you know, try my best to make all of the playable nations relatively even. That is the Great Game version. And this is the historical way of dealing with it, which is to have just loads of playable nations. I do not recommend playing as any of the tiny nations, as they will probably get curb stomped. And I've picked one of the more difficult in Denmark. But that's why it's important to test your creations. So I'm going to load the campaign, which is going to take absolutely forever because we do not currently have an AI design file that can be used with this version of the game. That will have to be created. So it's going to take about 20 minutes to load up a campaign, probably, especially with all these extra players. And we'll have a look at our strategic situation. All right, welcome to the map, and it's a bit more colourful and a bit more crowded than usual. So, we obviously start here with 2 provinces, but we also have another. All the way at the bottom. We actually have 7 provinces. So we've got Western and Eastern Denmark, but we also own the Faroe Islands, Iceland, both bits of Greenland, and the Virgin Islands. So we do actually have, you know, a little bit of territory. Our big problem, of course, is potentially we can end up in a war with Germany. That would be very, very bad. In fact, a war with any major power is going to be bad. And the other problem is I still have this in chaos mode. I am planning on changing this for the release so that most of, especially the smaller nations, start with a slightly positive relationship with most countries, so that you get the friends events, so that they, you know, things will trend positive. However, setting nearly all of the relations to 0, what actually happens is it's almost like a dice roll what happens, so you get really weird nonsense going on, which I thought would be fun for content reasons. But if you are one of the beta testers and you're like, whoa, this is chaos, yeah, I do have a fix in mind, which is basically changing all the zeros to like 5. Anyway, we definitely do not want to be on bad terms with the Germans. So we're going to improve relations a little bit with them. We're just going to make sure that we have positive relations with Germany and Britain, so that neither of them tries to kill us. Historically speaking, that both of those are bad for Denmark. Our neighbours to the north are probably the most obvious targets for expansion. Taking on Russia would be kind of crazy, but okay. But basically, we need to build our strength up so that we can, in theory, take on the Germans, possibly after the British have absolutely smacked them into the middle of next week. We could re-enable Vikingness and attack the Netherlands and Belgium, possibly. We don't really want to get involved with anything in the Med, because Britain can shut that down immediately. Yeah. And, of course, we need to keep the Virgin Islands safe. We need to keep... We are actually kind of important because we control the Greenland, Iceland, UK gap. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let us start off by maxing out our transport capacity. Possibly immediately expanding the shipyard, because we can't even build battleships at the start of the game. Do I play this risky? What do our neighbours have? Norway. Oh, Norway's got quite a lot of stuff actually. 5 heavy cruisers and 4 lights. And Sweden has just 2 light cruisers. I might do this a super risky play. So this is basically keep my fleet absolutely minimal, as in nothing, and put all my money into transport cap, shipyard size. What's that beeping? Tech budget, and I'm going to rush torpedo size and get the 16-inch torpedoes as quickly as I can, and build a bunch of torpedo boats. And we're going to expand the navy bottom up, which is also quite realistic. You know, if we're going to start with absolutely nothing, the game is going to say, "Are you sure about that?" It's a very risky strategy. This might be an extremely short 1-episode series, but that's my plan. So let's hit start. Yes. Right, we are very close on the money. But I'm going to sit here. I'm going to play Slider Hero. And I'm going to make sure I'm positive with Germany first. And then once I'm positive with them, I'll just try and make sure I'm positive with nearly everybody. Because if I have kind of positive relations with everybody, then I shouldn't get into any wars? Question mark. If you are running this and the pre-build file is not ready yet, which is quite likely, editing the turns takes a while, as you can see, particularly unusually early on, and that is due to an error with the very first torpedo boat hull, in that if it's at the smallest size, you can't currently fit a funnel on it. And that is causing the AI builder a lot of trouble. Just in case you run into that and it's not being fixed by the time. There we go. Okay, canal. Okay, cool. Okay, positive with the Germans. Good. Argentina is pissing us off. I don't think I really care about them. Although I don't want to go to war with them or anything. So I'm going to improve relations with Sweden and Norway as well, so that we're not likely to be dragged into a northern war before we're ready. I'm going to increase this a little bit, but I'm not going to take you through all this. This is basically what I'm going to be doing every single turn until we get those 16-inch torpedoes, and I can start creating some shifts. Welcome back. Apologies for the machine. Project Amigos is going pretty well. We're a little bit negative with Germany because they just started a war with Russia, which is kind of perfect because we want those two to knock stuffing out of each other. Yeah, as you can see, the bars are going all over the place. Research-wise, we're about 7 months away, which is good. Oh, we're about to get Mark II 6-inch. Very nice. Mark II 2 inches on the way. Mark II 9 inches on the way. Good. Okay. Finance-wise, we've maxed out the transport cap. I've now brought it back down to just holding. Tech budget is maxed. I'm also going to increase the crew budget to 50%. And probably never touch that slider again. Just so that we will have a trained crew of people to put on ships, but we don't have any ships currently, or even boats. But soon we will have boats, hopefully. 7 months. But other than that, I think things are relatively okay for us. It doesn't look like anyone's going to try and jump up and kill us immediately, and hopefully we will get those torpedo boats built as quickly as we can. Yeah, please don't die. Welcome back. Research complete. I don't think there's any other key research that I'm about to... Oh, actually... Oh no, if this was induced boilers, I might have waited. But no, we've got the 16-inch torps, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to take the priority off torpedo size now, because we don't need that. What we need is ships, because people are starting to attack each other. Ooh, that's a fun ship. But no, we need a torpedo boat to start with. Ooh, we also get a small torpedo cruiser. That's a fun little ship. Now, yeah, there is an issue with this in that you can't put a funnel on it at the smallest size, so we are going to have to do some slider trickery. 300, not 3,000, please. Thank you. Okay. The cheap tower, please. A gun. Machine deciding to be really loud today. Coal, natural. Oh, we do have triple expansion. Gonna need at least 2 funnels. Really? 2? Can I go standard, standard, standard? But no, if I want to go 25 knots, I'm going to need a 3rd funnel, so we'll add a 3rd. If you're wondering why I'm spacing them, what I'm thinking is, rather than having all the torpedo launchers bunched up, I'm going to space them out a little bit, so that when we fire, we get a better spread. 16-inch torpedoes. All right. Let's go light, reduced shells. We're really not expecting to shoot very much with this thing. Oh, we do have a rangefinder. We'll put on a tiny amount of armor. Might keep some high explosive out, but I'm not expecting much more than that. The gun doesn't even have any armor. 97% ain't bad. We cannot improve speed. We can get many bulkheads though. That's a pretty good little first torpedo boat. Significantly better than if I just built it right at the start, because we have 3 16-inch torpedoes, which means we can shoot out to 900 meters. Which, no, isn't that the default? 900 meters? It is. God damn it. It's not enough to get extra range. That's why I was doing it. Oh well. They'll do more damage. Yeah, we've got a reasonably fast, thanks to the triple expansion engine. Yeah, these should be okay. I'm going to save the design. Leave the shipyard. Hope the game doesn't crash. No, it doesn't. Good. And we're going to build a bunch. 16. We have 8 ports. I'm going to build 16 of these. And I'm just going to make sure that every port has 2 torpedo boats like that. And then I'll go through the list. That will mean that we are covered a little bit from attack, and then we can look into going up towards some form of cruiser, perhaps. Welcome back. Things not going brilliantly. The US flipped on me, and I've been trying to improve relations again. But because that's a very high priority, a few others have ticked negative, none of whom I want to tangle with right now. So Project Amigos is still go, go, go. Our growth is pretty good, actually, at 10%. Didn't even check who we've got in power. Centre Party. Okay, so 10% is pretty good, actually. I think, yeah, Sweden's also 10. Well, we have the largest economy of the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, we're getting there. Russia and Germany seems to be going Russia's way right now. They managed to take Prussia, or Kaliningrad, as they're presumably now going to call it. I don't know how else it's going. There's a weird Argentinian battleship sitting here. But I wanted to get some torpedo cruisers built. Just because this is a really fun ship. They're tiny. They're really small. And they can be really effective. I'm going to go standard on everything with them. And at 1,500 tons, they're small enough that they will fit into most of our ports, which is really, really important. We do also have the Light Cruiser 2 for a slightly bigger version. We do have Armoured Cruiser 1s now, and a couple of possible battleship hulls, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we need to build from the ground up, basically. So let's have a look. Yeah, no upgrades on any of that. 1.5, 2.5 base accuracy, 2.8 base accuracy. Let's go with this one. We do want a gun. We have the Mark II 6-inch gun, so we might as well use that. Gonna need a bunch of funnels. Gonna be the return of like octo hexafunnel nonsense. Gonna need a secondary tower. Wow. Base accuracy of 0.2. 0.8. Wow, 0.8. Get another funnel in. Yeah, it's an octo funnel. Cool. Still doesn't have enough engine efficiency. Hilarious. We probably want another 6-inch gun on the back. Oh, I don't have the 2-inch Mark II. Shite. How long until I get that? $10 months if I rush it. No, not worth it. Not worth waiting. Because by the time these ships are finished, then we'll have them in service. Oops, wrong one. this one, 21 knots, full size, standard, balanced, multiple expansion engine, we'll build back to front. I assume these ones give me the most funnel cap per thing. Yes, they do. 1, 2, 3, 4. A tower. 6-inch gun at the front. Let's move you to there. 6-inch gun. Oh, okay. I actually kind of want the 6-inch gun up here. Interesting. I wonder if I can manage that. I'm just looking at the sections for that, if you're wondering. Something I spoke about at the end of the last series. If I can get the sections right on this thing, might help a little bit. I don't think that's going to be enough room. Oh, it is! Just, it's still too big. It's still putting the section down here, but at least by putting it up there, no, it looks stupid up there. I'm going to put it where it would normally be. And then casemate 2s, which we can have many. This is why I was looking into, can I include... Wow, I'm going to spend so much weight on 2-inch guns here. But it kind of has to be done because it's funny. Well, there's actual slots for them. Okay, we'll use the actual slots. Okay, that's already crazy. I kind of love it. Okay. Yeah, I've gone overweight. I wonder why. I haven't even put the torpedo tubes on, which is actually the point of this ship. Gonna go standard ratio of shells. Gun cotton. Fast reload. 16-inch torpedoes. A rangefinder. And this thing has no armor. I would like some armor. How hilariously overweight are we going to end up? Okay, given that we only have 5 inches on the turret, let's go take that down to 5. Yeah, 0.5 is protecting me against high explosive shells from enemy light cruisers, but not much else. Does it protect me from a 4-inch AP round? No. Not even a 2-inch AP round. That's maybe not enough. Yeah, I think I should go to 1.5 extended. That'll be somewhat better protected. Oh, I'm way overweight. Mostly on fuel. Okay, let's dump the coal out. And funnels, unsurprisingly. Oh, and casemate armor. I need to put that on. 1.5.2. I'm sure we can make this work. Maybe these 2 inches need to come off. They're not very good anyway. So we can have, yeah, because the casemates are 40 caliber. So I'm going to take these off. I am going to replace them with 3-inch guns. fore and aft. Again, I'm not getting much length control, but, you know, a little stub gun isn't the end of the world. Now we just need to make this thing work. Hull, can't do much about. Ammunition, we can. Let's go reduced ammunition. There we go. Funnels, can't really do too much about. Engines and boilers, med belt, the fact that it has a crew on it. There is another option, which is to make the ship bigger. We'll have to drop and replace some parts. Right, and now I'm going to make it slower. 18 knots. Okay, we're still 10% overweight. Cramped. A few bulkheads. Jesus. Okay, 6%. We don't need the main belt to be that thick. We can go down to 4. Let's get rid of these casemates. Make the ship, would make the ship quite top heavy anyway. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we have a. Or can we make it 1700 exactly? No, we got 5 tons over. Do you know what? I'm just going to have to live with it. No, 1 ton. Let's go for 17, 15. Got a little bit of an half weight offset, but there's not too much you can do about that. This thing is primarily a little torpedo deterrent. Given that it fires 1, 2, 3, 4 per side, which is quite a lot, plus 1 forward, 1 aft. We do have the 2 6-inch guns, which are Mark IIs with a rangefinder, so we might be able to get the odd hit with them. And we've got a ton of 2-inch guns for firework displays / auxiliary ore system. I can't think how else we would use them, but they are a handy little ship with some upgrades down the line. I think they'll do quite well. The next question is, so at 1715 we want 1, 2, 3. I think one will fit in there. No, it won't. No, it won't. Okay, so 3, Iceland. They're too small. 4, 5. So we want a class of 5. Okay. Builds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want 1 in Copenhagen, 1 in Reykjavik, 1 in here. Basically all the slightly larger ports will get a cruiser, and the Saltholm. Yep. Okay. I feel a little bit more confident now we have some light cruisers. It would be nice to get some bigger cruisers at some point, but yeah, we need to be very slow, very careful, very deliberate how we build out the fleet, because Yeah, well, I'm assuming we have we have a tiny fleet compared to everybody else, but that means we have more money, which is useful in and of itself. Let's look at our neighbours. Sweden has 2 heavy cruisers, 8 light cruisers. Norway has 5 heavy cruisers and 7 light cruisers. We're probably the only country with torpedo boats. No, the United States has torpedo boats, because the AI will struggle to build them at the start. Oh, Italy has some. The Ottomans have some. Okay, so a few countries have torpedo boats as well. Okay, cool. I'm going back to Slider Hero. Welcome back. It's now 1894, June. Things are kicking off. Project Amigos is starting to fall apart. Simply because there's a lot of stuff going on. So, as you can see, wars are starting to happen. And trying to stay on everybody's good side is not working, because everybody's starting to hate each other. I definitely don't want to go to war with France, though. So they're the most important ones to keep on side. Finance-wise, we're all right. One thing I have noticed, we have very low crew, which is, I guess makes sense playing as Denmark, because we have a good economy, but not necessarily lots and lots of people. So it's actually taking a long time to get the Stoltholms actually commissioned. It is doing it automatically because I have had a crew ticked. We're also building 2 of them for Colombia, who apparently have become our ally. Not that you can see that on here, but yes, Colombia is apparently our ally, which is actually a pretty good ally for us to have, because that gives us a little bit more coverage in the Caribbean. So I don't mind building them a couple of ships, given that we can't even crew the ships that we have. Not going to make a huge amount of money doing that, but it is useful to do. Yeah. Really just trying to stay under the radar. Relations with Sweden are going downhill, which is interesting. If we do end up with war, they also are going down. They also are almost at war with Norway. I think if that does happen, I will try and attack Sweden. We're very similar in power level. I don't have the ability to launch any form of naval invasion. But we can inflict a lot of damage on their fleet. Yeah, we're a long way off being able to support a naval invasion, and we don't even have the crew to crew a fleet that big. It's one of the things about playing a teeny tiny country. Yeah, our home state pop is ours the lowest, 2.7. No, Norway's even smaller. How are they managing to field a fleet that big? Anyway, that is why I've eat my own hat, because yeah, crew training is now gone to 100%, so that we can get ships commissioned. I'm continuing to expand the shipyard size continuously. It is starting to become unaffordable, though. I mean, we're never going to build a 20,000-ton ship. I'm mainly doing this because it bleeds into the total shipbuilding capacity, which is going to be helpful for us in the long term. Well, here's a bit of news. Argentina has been conquered by Chile, which means that if I end the turn, we should get a note that Argentina has been destroyed, which is pretty crazy. Very first player out of the game. Yeah, playing as Argentina or Chile, to be honest, is pretty risky because you only have the one province. What? Fucking hell. France? Okay. Yep. There goes Argentina. No, that's the ones that are in mothballs. Oh, God. No, don't like that. I don't mind going to war with Korea, because well, not literally everybody. most of the world seems to hate them. But I do not want to go to war with France, so we will be improving relations. I'm not going to try and start a war with Korea. So if the government suggests I'll say no, they'll have to declare war on us. Yeah, okay. Yeah, shouldn't take too long to get that next cruiser done. But this is kind of a limit, because it's going to take me a very long time to get a big enough crew pool to consider an armoured cruiser, which is what I was maybe going to go for next. Get, you know, maybe a couple of armoured cruisers. Tricky. Very tricky. I'm not quite sure what to do. Because, yeah, us basically don't want to get into wars. But also... Oh, yeah, here we go. Well, I don't want to buy them off. Oh, and Greece. Screw you, Greece. Oh, okay, that's not as good. Let's just say they're incompetent. I already tanked our relations. Japan and Brazil. United States and Greece. China and Sweden. Denmark and Korea. Okay, cool. We're at war with Korea, of all places. That is remarkably stupid. Unfortunately, the French don't like us doing any of that. Oh, Jesus. What are we supposed to do against Korea? What do they have? 5 armoured and some light cruisers. I guess I could put together a little squadron to go and deal with Korea. Let's take the Harjan and a torpedo boat. Let's pull some of the extra torpedo boats, actually. Yeah, we don't need all the torpedo boats up here right now. Move. And from nuke. So we'll assemble a tiny task force, and then we'll see if we can get a battle with Korea. Jesus. Unfortunately, we have bigger issues because we're at war with Greece as well, which is hilarious given how close Greece and Denmark are normally. Again, I have this all needs adjusting. This is oh fuck me, France. No. France, why are you being so weird? Such a weird arrangement. Anyway, I guess my little squadron is going to have to go over there and sink some Greek ships. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Start investing in tech. I think all of our cruisers are now active. Yes, they are. Good. Okay. Cool. Just a little update. China seems to be getting the better of Japan. I was checking the list and I was like, why is Japan way at the bottom? I think they had their fleet almost obliterated by the Chinese, and they're now getting invaded in return, which is bad for them. We're still a little bit negative with France, which I don't like, but we're improving it. I'm trying to knock Greece out of the war as quickly as possible. We have a little fleet down here. I don't know. Oh, their fleet's up here. Okay, let's... It seems crazy to go up against 3 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, and 2 lights with my tiny little fleet. So I'm just going to piss about in the Aegean and get port strikes until they get pissed off and come and attack me. There is also a Korean fleet right here, which we might be able to go, which we might get a battle against, which would be really handy. Germany is invading Norway. Oh, that's really bad for us. Oh, don't like that. Don't like that. Okay, after shooting up some Greek ports and them never challenging us on it, they have given up. We could take a ship But, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. They're probably not very good. We can have a look at them. Yeah, no, these are not good ships. Like cruisers, no. We'll just take the money. Because that's quite a lot of money for us. We'll take the money. Thank you. However, what? Oh, Jesus Christ. Whatever's going on in general, yeah, Russia is absolutely stomping all over the Austrians. They're still in the game, though, because they've only taken the inland provinces so far. I wonder where that Korean fleet is. There it is. Where are they going? Home. Yeah, I need to go over here and keep an eye on whatever this is, I guess. Let's head off to the... Oh, no, I can't because they're down here. Well, why don't you sit right outside the Suez Canal? That'll stop them turning around and coming back, at least. Where are we politics-wise? Us. Not terrible. We still need to keep improving relations with France, though. Yeah, what other wars are going on? So, Greece is now at war with Britain and the United States, which is a main issue for them. Japan, their main issue seems to be China. Norway defended themselves against the Germans. They did. Well done, Norway. Portugal is at war with Germany. Sweden is at war with China. Oh, and Korea, and nearly Norway. Bloody hell. Austria, fucking hell, Austria. That's not a good. That's not a good plan. Korea, yeah, nobody likes Korea, apart from Portugal. Spain is staying out of it. Good for them. US versus France, Jesus. I think the US is getting the better of that because I saw France drop way down the list and have a ton of stuff under repairs. Belgium is it Britain and America? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I need to tone this down a bit. It is fun, but goodness me, is it making me anxious. Yeah, let's see if we can beat the Koreans. We have a battle. We actually have two battles. This is the Hajin and the 4 torpedo boats that have been kind of menacing around Korea, trying to catch ships. So what have we got here? We have more expensive than ours, 6 underwater torpedoes. Maximum bulkheads. That's pretty nice. 4 6-inch guns. Goodness me. Okay, well, that's actually surprisingly nasty. That profile. Right. Tops off. You lot form up. Torpedoes off. Where are they? Yeah, they're dead ahead. Wait for the physics to kick in. Such a small little thing. Whoa. Let's have a look at her first. Oh, it's one of these. Yeah. Okay. It's not super well armoured. Torpedo range. Yeah, 900. Well, there's not much that can be done about that. I'll be able to get into a smoke. Get to a place where I'll be able to engage them without taking a torpedo in return, using the superior speed. Possibly. Right, you go normal. Rest of you, you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. Ugh. Come on, 1472. Oh, that doesn't help. There goes the reload and one of the launchers. But I think they're going to get the torps away. Right, they're firing at the 1472, which is kind of perfect. Which means they're blind to the other ones coming up on them. Right, 1063. Free fire. Yeah, boom! That was a huge hit. Okay, we do lose the torpedo boat. But Zaeren quite badly damaged there. Oh, you sneaky bugger. Oh, it does hit them. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sphere of combat is so unbelievably risky. Let's do a little drive-by. Often get asked, oh, can I get a surrendered ship back? So surrendering ships are not really surrendering in the way that ships would in the Age of Sail. They are abandoning ship. Basically. The ship is too far gone to be saved. Oh, lovely stuff. Got him. Well, exchanging a torpedo boat for a light cruiser. Not too shabby. Because they cost 2 million. That thing costs 8.6. Crew of 26 versus a crew of 372. Yeah, we definitely came out ahead there. No, Mr. Zero. Nowhere near enough to end the war, but enough to cause them some problems. Oh, okay. Well, now I know these cruisers are actually quite good. So 2 of them together. That is going to be a trickier ask. I don't think I can just rush in with the torpedo boat. I think that's a good way to get the torpedo boat killed. There they are. I think we need to keep you a bit further back. Now, they would normally, on paper, have more guns, but of course they, for a start, don't have a rangefinder, and second of all, I'm pretty sure they have, side guns. So we actually have the same number of guns. I'm going to try and edge away a little bit. Wish I had the Mark II 2-inch. We do have the tech for it, so I might actually have a look at that. I think we are faster than them, aren't we? Yeah, so I don't have to get close to them if I don't want to. There you getting slightly better of it. Because we're not hitting. Oh, they've got good accuracy too. Not a big fan of that. Yeah, we need massed torpedo boats. I don't think the Saltholm is... Aside, unless she gets a lucky hit, I don't think we're going to really have the firepower to deal with that. What's main belt like? Oh, low fuel, that helps. 28%. Oh no, don't do that. It's actually slightly better than the Saltholm. Okay. I see how it is. No thank you. I'm going to leave because you have low fuel. And you shouldn't be able to chase me. No, we need something more serious to take on a threat like that. I should have enough crew now, though, to look into building something a little bit more serious. Perhaps an armoured cruiser. That's so risky just having, like, a handful of ships. Yeah, it says draw. I think that's probably fair. Okay. Should I be concerned that Russia is attacking Bangladesh? So yeah, I was trying to engage this task force here, but I think I'm better off staying in port for a little bit. This group, the Koreans do have a battleship somewhere. I'd love to engage that. That would be with a torpedo boat. That would be fantastic. But no, I think unless we have, yeah, we've got the Mark II 9s. Yeah, we've got Mark II 9s, Mark II 3s, and Mark II 6s. That's pretty good. We're just about to get the 9,000-ton heavy cruiser, but I don't think that's too bad. We can cope with that. Oh, induced draft boilers. Okay, I'll wait 2 months, and then we'll build an armoured cruiser. Okay, instead we get a fight. This time it's the Andong, a enemy torpedo boat, which I kind of want to take on. No, I don't. It's a storm with the light cruiser. But in a storm, we're just going to run away because we're never going to be able to hit them. And that's just a bad time. Should be able to just flee. Not the most glorious end to the episode. But it's going to have to do. I'm assuming I'm going to get away. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.